Welcome back to the Setter Podcast. I'm your host, Victor Lowe, my co-host, Mark over there. How are you doing, kind sir?
I'm chilling. I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I feel like we're getting closer and closer.
We
I feel
are.
like when we first started this, we were just like,
Yeah, you're gonna be on that mic
yeah. I
next.
felt like I was just like on that wall over there, just as
Yeah.
far as fuck from you. But how are you? How have you been? What was your weekend like?
It was good. Yesterday I went to the Chinese lantern. I don't know why I could never say that. Lantern festival. And it was pretty cool. Nothing like crazy, crazy. You get on rides or anything, but it was just cool. The aesthetics of it and the like, kind of like the figurines and just the lights in general. Obviously, were like really cool.
Were there lanterns?
Yeah, when you go through the entrance, they have like that whole kind of like tunnel just lighting up, with all the lanterns and everything around. But yeah, that was cool. They had a show and they had like I think three different types of like performers, but the one I had, it was like a guy. He did two performances within like the whole like thing that they had. And one was like I think it was like I don't remember the exact name of it, but something with like changing faces, and it was cool because he had like a
Trading
fan.
places?
Trading places, yeah.
That one Usher song?
Yeah. And he had like this big fan and he covered his face, and every time he like kind of put it up and took it off, he had like a different like mask that like just kind of like appeared, and it was like pretty cool. It was cool, like type of like illusion type thing. So that was cool. Then another thing he did where he had like how like some people have those performances where they have that long ass string and they have like the yo-yo kind of thing.
And they be like
And they like
bouncing
jump.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So he had that John. And I ain't gonna lie, that John was kind of crazy because there was one point where he flipped it up in the air and it was just freeborn, and he kinda did a whole spin and just turned around and whipped it and caught it in the air while it was just freeborn just right there. I was like, "Damn." Like, that's just
Boy
crazy.
gangster.
I was like, "That's just crazy." Yeah, besides that, yeah, it was pretty cool just seeing all the different types of, like I said, like, figures that they had, the statues, I guess you would say, that were just, like, lighting up and stuff, so yeah.
Nice.
I went to Bonchon too after that, and
Banchan. It's been a minute since we went to
I'm not gonna
Banchan.
lie, I was a little disappointed with it.
Really?
No, so I'm not
What'd you
disappointed,
get?
obviously, in the food, but I guess it would be about the food. So we wanted to get like the combo, the wings and the drumsticks. We get there, and then Shawty's like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any more combos." I'm like, "What?"
You had a chicken?
I was like, "What?" Me and my girl, we were just like, "Wait, what?" How is that possible? How do you just run out of like? Because she was like, "Oh, we have wings and like strips, but we don't have drumsticks," and we were just like, "How do you just run out of
Can I
drumsticks?"
just
Like,
get another wing?
and what irked me is that we looked at the time to see when they were closing, bro. They closed at 2 a.m. So you mean to tell me y'all
Y'all was
ran
just
out? What were y'all gonna do for that whole rest of the time? We got there at like maybe like 9. Like, bro, y'all have so much extra time left. What do y'all do? Y'all just don't give drumsticks? Y'all just I don't know. That was just kind of weird, but the food was still good. Like I said, we got just like I think 20 wings, half and half, soy garlic hot. And yeah, it was just still good food, but I also tried a pickle radish. I never tried that before.
How was that?
It was interesting because my girl was like, "Oh yeah, it's good," and I was just like, I don't know,
I
it
don't know.
don't sound good.
Seems
It don't
suspicious.
sound good, but she was like, "Oh yeah, it's good," and I was just like, "What is it for?" And she was like, "Oh, it kind of like clears your palate, from like it being like super spicy or whatever like that." And I tried it and I was like, "Wow, okay, it actually does." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
She wasn't lying.
Yeah, I just thought it was gonna be something you just kind of
Just
eat on the
bullshit.
side, it's just something like that people give you on the side like coleslaw. Like I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, it was still good, and yeah, it was a good time. So that's what happened just yesterday. I feel like there's something else I'm missing. I just can't think of it on the top of my head. So how was your week?
My weekend was good. I went to go eat some tacos, and then that was about it. It's like, no, I mean, it was just a usual weekend. That was the only thing that was really out of the ordinary. Everything else was pretty consistent with what I usually do. Um,
I Wait, actually now I remember. Now I remember. I went roller skating. That's what I did.
you
Yeah.
did go roller
I
skating.
forget what day that
I asked you
was.
to teach me, and you didn't say
Yeah,
yes or no.
I will teach you.
It's like, no.
um and yeah, we went roller skating. A little bit before that though, we had saw that there was like a Latin like festival that was also there. It was kind of like next to it.
Yeah,
There was like a Latin festival, so you had all different types of cultures. They had Colombian, Guatemalan, Peruvian, Puerto Rican, obviously. Like everything was there, and
everybody.
they had like a nice like stage where people had like performances, stuff, singing, dancing, and like I said, definitely food. And that joint was bomb. A little expensive though, definitely
I mean, it's a festival.
too expensive for what you can get all that for, But
they gonna take advantage for sure.
yeah, way too much. That tax was insane. But yeah, that was like really good. And then we went roller skating, like I said, didn't fall, beast. I don't know, something about roller skating. Just every time I had the skates on, I'm just like moving my feet, like let's go where we're going, where we're going. Yeah, so that was fun.
You start doing like the whole like, you ever see them videos of bulls who be like OG on it?
But you know what's so funny? Every time I go, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is, there's always that bull that's there doing that.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like they're
always. I'm just like,
just
bro,
born to skate. He's like
when
here
do
every
you
day.
got time to be doing this all the time? Every time I'm there, it's always someone different. But it's just funny how every time I go, there's never one time where there's just everybody
It
feels
has
like
to be.
there's always. It doesn't feel like there's everybody there is like on the same level. No, there's always one bull that's just like going through everybody, like just chilling, just
Having no regard for nobody, just jumping over little kids.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, I get it. You can go through us, you can go around us, but bro, like, give me a warning. Like,
Yeah.
I literally would be struggling, maybe like about the trip, and he's just like, just like, bro, like, chill.
Just flexing on everybody.
I'm
Just
like, man, you need to stop. Like, go somewhere else.
yeah, there's never like, it's always that one guy. Then there's like people who are like still hugging the wall the whole time, and then there's just the normal people like just trying to
Yeah.
like not
Just
fall.
going back. Yeah, I was telling my girl because we went and I was like, it's so funny how we see kids that probably are skating for their first time and just like super scared and nervous to fall. And I'm like, then there's us who like I'm not saying we skated all our lives, but we've skated enough to understand how to roller skate, but yet we're still scared to fall and bust our
Yeah,
ass. Like that's
because we don't
so
do this every day. This is not.
like
This ain't everyday activity.
yeah, like but it's just so funny to think like, yo, we're still there. Like if we miss a little bit, we're just like just like God, stop. We slow ourselves down and everything.
Yeah, there's definitely like something that, like for what it is, it's like way too easy for people to get hurt. Like you think about the
Yeah.
floor that you're like riding, like you meant to get injured on that shit if you're not used to
I
it.
think what hurts the most is the embarrassment. I think
Yeah, but like you
that's
think
what
about the
hurts.
floor that it's like smooth tile that's
Yeah.
like thick as fuck. So if you bounce your head off that shit,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it is.
And you're on these shoes with wheels.
Yeah. It's like a setup.
That's
really
what I'm
just a
saying.
setup.
Like how is it not more of that shit happening, especially for people doing it for the first time?
Yeah.
And then there's just that one guy just
just
move, bitch. Just on some white girl shit.
Turns around, just looks at you while he just passed you. What's up? And turns
Yeah,
back
just-
around. I'm like, all right, you got that, bro.
He treating it like it's roller derby. He started tackling people.
I'm like, all right. I just think of like, how do you feel when you go home? Because he probably, he brought his own skates. So Bull's just like, he carrying them as he just leaves, gets home, just nice day at the rank. Like
his
what?
own shoes.
Like what, bro? Come on, call your girl up. Like, do something with her. Don't go here. Just think like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be here for like 3 hours, embarrassing everybody. That's what I do.
That used to be like everybody's move, like every weekend at some point in time.
Bro, when jams was a thing, I mean, it wasn't even so much about the roller skating,
Yeah,
but
it's still a thing. They just changed their name like 12 times.
Rolling Thunder. I'm like, what is this place? But yeah, that place was something else. I remember someone put up a TikTok of like what it was like, and they had like the background, the literal OG background of like how jams looked, and that shit was so funny. It was like, take it, take it. It was like in the back. I was like, yo, stop. And then just people being mad disrespectful. Like, yo, bro, what the fuck you doing, man? Talking about the pizza fucking how would you call it? Just like lanky shit, just
stretchy as
shit. I'm like, yo, come on, bro.
Yeah, they would sell them. It's like the most random assortment of shit. It would just be like hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, funnel cake.
Yeah. You get all that shit.
All that heavy ass shit for you to go out there and roller skate.
And then you're like, there was like probably like no AC in that bitch. I mean, if there was, it just wasn't working that well because of all the heads that were just in that bitch. Like you literally had like over capacity of just people in that bitch.
Be a fire job, low key, being the DJ for that.
True.
You got if they let you do whatever you want, you could probably have some fun with that. Because I remember when we used to go, it used to be like SpongeBob remixes and shit.
Yeah. I'm the Nike man.
Yeah, so like if they was like, yo, like just as long as it fits the theme, like go for it. I would have a ball doing that shit.
True. And that was like what was cool about jams. Like again, it might have been really ratchet, but you knew like the audience that was in there. It was all, you know, just young kids. So it didn't have to feel like, okay, yeah, you know, I gotta play certain shit. Like, nah. Most likely, like after 8 o'clock, you got your
Yeah.
whole group is teenagers at that
Yeah.
point.
I feel like that's a fight. Like, how do you get those jobs? You ever think about that? You ever see like certain jobs? It's like, yo, like, how does somebody get into that?
Yeah,
Like, you
that's
don't like you don't
that's
see
how I
that.
felt about yesterday when I saw the performances. I'm just like,
Yeah.
how do you like just really like wake up and be like, all right, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Like, what part of Indeed you got to be on to get these jobs?
True. Just I don't know. Roller skating DJ.
Yeah, like, because we remember, like, we was applying to jobs as kids. Like, I would have loved to do that shit. That's not
Yeah.
that's a job you could let a kid do.
True, yeah. They probably like say like, oh yeah, show me something, you know, like give me like a I guess a test run of what you would do, like going to this song to this song.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the best person to do it. If you haven't like teenagers skate, like, what better person would know what music they want to hear than
That's true.
somebody
Yeah.
that age? You know what I mean? As long as they not an asshole, like,
Yeah.
there's some people that be able to do that.
Bro, you would go up to the bull too, and he just playing. He just like not even paying attention to it. Yo, you play this song? Just still going in. I'm like, all right, bro. Guess you don't want to hear my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other jobs where it's just like, yo, how the fuck did you get here? I don't know. I'm blinking, but yeah, like that's one of them. Or just like you said, those weird performance jobs. It's probably just like you probably work for like a certain
Yeah, you probably got some.
like an agency or something.
If anything, yeah, if you did like one thing, you probably got like a connection, you know, it's somebody you talk to that's just like, oh, like, you know, is there any things, you know, you hear of like hiring or need people, you know, and they're probably just always like, oh yeah, you know, they got these people who need some type of, you know, performance.
It's like an event agency with their whole roster, just like, all right, how many of y'all know how to use yo-yos? Right? So are y'all available on the 16th? All right.
Bet. Be available.
Chinese Lantern Festival, 4 o'clock. Be there early.
I don't care if you're not Asian. Just be there.
Can you change mask without them noticing?
Cool. That's all we need.
You're hired.
Yeah. Because there was another bull there. He wasn't Asian. At least I don't know. Maybe he has some in him.
Mixed.
But yeah, but he looked just white. If not, he was like some type of Swedish or, you know,
that's a big jump.
Either type of foreign, you know, looking. But yeah, he had like one performance where he literally had, I guess, and most likely it was plastic, but had a lamppost and he was just spinning that joint around.
What you mean?
So okay. Yeah, I need more context. So he had like this type of chair that he sat in and his legs were up. So he was doing all the spinning with his feet, his like feet and his legs. So he was like leaned back and he had his legs up in the air straight like that. And he had like the lamppost vertically or horizontally, my bad. And he just had like this shit in the middle that could help him spin it. And he was just spinning that shit just constantly. And the next thing you know, he was just going like, like down like crazy. Then he had it straight up vertically on one foot. And then he just shot it up, flipped it around and caught it with his foot.
See, like, how do you know that you can do that?
I don't know, bro.
Like, what level of boredom do you have to achieve that you just
bro,
in your crib with your lamppost and dining room table?
Bro, and those were 3 performances he had that night. He did that joint 3 times.
I know. How do you not fuck up?
He did actually on that lamp when he actually the first time when he tried to flip it around. I guess he had it too far to like off centered, and he like when he did it, he kind of like missed, I guess, the strength he needed to flip it around fully, and it kind of like almost just almost fell. He kind of caught it, but it wasn't like obviously done to what he wanted to. But then he did it again, and he actually got it. So I was like, oh, okay. He redeemed himself.
That probably pissed me off so bad.
Fuck.
Yeah, like to myself, I'm like
gets up and walks off.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like I'll still keep going, but in my head, I'm like, yo, like what the fuck, bro? Like I'd be so embarrassed. Like if I'm up there, like and then people know that that's not what was supposed to happen. I'd be like, fuck,
like,
bro. I don't even want to do this anymore.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm like, yo, this shit's trash, bro.
Fucking not even sleep tonight, bro.
Yeah, but like that's how really I would be though. Like I'll be so mad at myself. It's like, damn, like I let them
especially
down.
After probably before you probably practiced like 10 times doing that shit. Like I got this in the bag, and of course during the performance you fuck up and you're like, God damn it, Mark.
Yeah. Like now that thinking about it, like you ever see like how they have, if you've been to like a Sixers game or shit, like when they have like the halftime performances.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you get into that shit? Like the Warriors, I don't know if you've seen theirs before, but they've had the same lady for like years. She's just on a unicycle with like plates and shit, and she like tosses it and like bounces on her head and catches it. But like it's like, yo, like I'm
Yeah,
sure she's messed up. She probably does that like every night.
true.
And where's the sign up form for that?
I don't even know. I'm also thinking like, how do you like explain that to like your significant other, somebody you're like talking to? Like, oh, what do you do? And then you just like, well, I'll show you. Just like, pull out the plates, you got the freaking sticks, and just start going in. I'm just like, wow.
Go in the backyards. I gotta work on my craft.
You wake up late as shit. She's out in the backyard just.
Play budget is crazy.
We can never have plates.
It's like I need to work on my art. Either you support me or you don't.
Take the plastic. Get the plastic plates.
It's
The
not
paper.
the
Get the paper
same.
plates.
You know that shit, Floatmark. You know it's not the same.
No. I would have just taped it.
But yeah, that shit. Yeah, I like no bullshit. Like not even trying to exaggerate. I would legitimately lose sleep that night. I'm like, fuck, I'm about to quit. I can't show my face because you got your work homies who got different acts too, and on the background like Vic fucked up again. And go tell the manager.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
It's always him, man.
It's always fucking up. I told him.
He got to work on his technique. It's like, bro, who else? Who gonna teach me to do this shit?
True. And what's crazy is just like, it's not only just like that day, like, bro, it's all like that's what was crazy for me to think of too. Like, do they have different people who sub in at certain times? Because, bro, that shit goes on for the Lantern Festival. I forget when it ends, but that shit's a long period. That sounds like what, 2 months probably? Like, is he the same bull doing it every day?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the job pays consistent. I'm sure like they probably do have people who swap out, but like it's definitely like 1 or 2 people, or they just have different acts come through.
Shit, yeah, it has to be, bro. There ain't no way I'm doing that shit 7 days a week.
Yeah. But you know what's wild though? When you think about it, is like all these people, can do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like outside of them working, like you said, like you would never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you think about how many people we walk past every day that could probably do some shit like that.
Yeah.
That we just never know, or just
like the 2 old heads. We were about to come in.
I don't think they doing that. They seem like they were struggling just to get it down the street.
They were.
But yeah, it's like you don't know what people's talents are, like what they be doing in their free time. I don't know. That's the shit that kind of creeps me out sometimes. It's like you don't know who you're walking by.
Yeah.
Or even if you get into an argument with them, it's like you don't know what they're capable of.
True, like the people that be like shoving swords down their throat. Like,
yeah, it's like you don't know, like you don't know what the fuck is going on. Or like even on some more serious shit, like you ever see like I don't know. It's like I'm not going to even say that. It's just you just never know what you're around. It's like earlier, like when we were driving over here and that guy almost like jumped out in front of my car. I was like, oh shit! Like I pulled over and then that bull who like tried to talk to me, I almost didn't want to roll my window down because I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen. Like I didn't know if he was going to yell at me,
true,
or just like,
why did you go?
Yeah, like get mad. I'm like, bro, like, do you know him? Like,
exactly.
But for context, literally like a block away from where we were pulling up here, I was driving and I had a green light. And bull and some guy like just shot himself out into the middle of the street, and I had to swerve around him and like a bus and shit just to like get by. But we stopped at a red light, and then this rich looking white man pulled up to me in a Tesla, and me and Mark in a Tesla, and told me to roll my window down. He went like I looked at him, I'm just like he honked,
had shades on, everything.
He honked at us, and I look over, and I'm just like, and then he was just like pointing down. I'm like, all right, like that was kind of aggressive. Like, what's about to happen to us? Like, yeah, like that's when like, bro, like the way that the city going, like I wouldn't have been surprised. It's like, what if he just say one sentence of some shit that I like altercation I had like years ago? I forgot about. It's like you should have never tripped me. So I'm just like, all right, fucking. He's like all excited. He's like, whoa. He's like, the way you got around him, like that was insane. He's like, nice.
Right.
And I was just like, nice kick. Like that's how I felt. Like he was just an announcer or some shit.
Remember that Domino's order you didn't give me?
Yeah, like that would be some shit that would happen.
Like, oh shit!
Like, I don't even deliver down here. Who the fuck are you?
Right? Oh shit, man.
But that was a wholesome guy. He just wanted to tell me that I did a good job not killing that man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that guy probably would have been able to do a flip over your car. He was.
Prepared. I know. Who knew? Like maybe he just did like some like
just looking at you in slow motion.
Fuck you. Watch yourself. But yeah, that guy came up and said thank you. The other guy, he just kept running.
Yeah, he didn't care, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like that type of thing, like where you fuck up and you fucked up, that you don't want to look back, especially when you're driving or something like that. You pull up at a light, you're just like,
bro. And there was a whole lot of people there too, like cars, people on the sidewalk. Yeah, he knows. He's like, fuck, just keep going, just keep going. Most likely he was trying to catch the bus. That's the only reason why somebody running that hard, bro. There ain't no way it's like you trying to get into a store and you was trying to catch the bus.
I guess I don't even know if he would have made it. It seemed like that thing pulled off.
Who knows?
It was really whatever, man. You seen what happened with the president's son?
I didn't.
What's his name? Hunter Biden.
I be forgetting this man Joe's president. It's just weird
because they don't show up, bro. Like
it's just like I don't.
This is the first time in a minute where it's just like, yo, like
because without you saying Joe Biden or Joe like when you just said the president, I was just like, who's the president?
Yeah,
like it didn't click to me for a second. Like
I don't know if it's because of the previous president that we had, but like this is the most silent presidency that I've ever witnessed in my life. Like
true.
Because even with the past president, even for whether it was good or not, like they were saying you would see them or see some share just hear about what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Partially because our past president was outrageous in general. Like it was just a comedy show. Like
he'll just wake up and just be like tweeting some bullshit.
Or like whether it was his kids or his wife or like the vice president, like you would hear about shit all the time. And I mean, there was a lot of controversy, so people obviously that's why you hear more about it. But there's also stuff going on now too, and I just feel like you don't hear shit up until this morning. You wouldn't really hear about like what the first lady is doing, or like Kamala Harris. I have not seen a single speech out of Kamala Harris.
I haven't seen her at all. Yeah.
And Joe, like he's falling off bikes.
That's when you do hear about it.
His speeches just sound all over the place. Like last time I heard him talk, I was like, yo, like, are you serious right now, bro? Like, why are you here?
Look, as much as we gotta hate him sometimes, but like we gotta give him some slack, you know, just off of the fact that he was Obama's right hand man, you know.
I guess, but like
trust me, I ain't gonna say he great. I ain't gonna say he good.
He's just not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I feel like as a person though, I'm gonna give him some respect.
yeah. But it's also like when you think back at like the Obama time, like I feel like I saw more of him then than I do now.
That is true, yeah.
And like you would hear from the Obamas, or like Michelle Obama was like a great like first lady. Like she was active and like
yeah, kids.
She was on iCarly, bro.
She was. Yeah.
People forget about that.
Bro, she was finding any way to try to make sure she get awareness for the whole, you know, helping kids
health
out, and health. Yeah, so that was.
Really I genuinely think that she's like a big reason why like a lot of us are the way that we are with like health and like self-care and shit like that.
No, we are, bro. It's just like it's so cool too because she took so much advantage of that. Like, of course, she probably
the platform.
Yeah, like she took so much advantage of that. Like, yo, okay, I'm the president's, you know, wife. You know, I'm the first lady. Like, I'm gonna go and take advantage. I'm gonna get on TV. I'm gonna bring awareness. I'm gonna do like different types of like campaigns, all this shit, bro. And she really like killed it.
And it was just always just like, for better or for worse, it was never like, damn, like this shit kind of like we were embarrassed or nothing like as a country. Like I'm genuinely embarrassed between like the last presidency and this one.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I don't even feel proud to be here. Like this shit just corny to me.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. When I think about that as an example, or even like the Bush administration, like we were younger during that time, but still it was just like, at least I heard what the man was doing.
True.
Talk to us, man. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah, just tell me what you did yesterday or something. I don't know.
And then when you do hear about them, so what I was trying to bring up earlier with his son, it's like a known thing that his son is like struggle with drugs.
Okay,
and like
I didn't
like
hear the story, but I do know that his son is like that.
You good? You was holding on so well. I'm gonna just hold it. Talking
about the president's son, bro.
I know he's moving it down, so you're gonna see a red laser on my chest. But Hunter Biden, supposedly like his iCloud got hacked or something like that, and obviously like again like it's a known thing he struggles with drugs and shit. So they just found a bunch of videos of him like nude or like him talking about Joe Biden or like other stuff with like I guess looking for prostitutes and shit. But the one that got like viral on Twitter was just like a video of him like recording. He was arguing with a prostitute on the phone about how much crack she gave him. And he like, it's his face. It's like a very clear like old man trying to work a phone, because you could see his like the video starts and it's his front face and he's just like, you know what I mean? Like just making old man noises trying to like work the phone. Then it flips to the scale and it's just like all the crack on it and just measuring like how much is there, and him just being like yo, like you didn't give me like how much I paid for or whatever, da da da. and it's just like it's just a bad look.
It really just like amazes me and baffles my mind when it's just like how people can just fall down that road of just you're like literally given everything in your life.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's just I don't know. It's just so crazy. I know that there could be some other like stuff, people around you influence you, and there's
yeah,
one bad thing can just lead to another, but again, since we weren't raised into it, we can't really like say as much. But it's just like I could never be like, okay, yeah, I'm rich. Let me just go get some crack. like
yeah.
what?
But you know what it is though, when you think about it, like Joe Biden's old, right? We
Yeah,
all know
yeah,
this. He's been in politics since forever,
yeah,
right?
young man.
So most likely like Hunter Biden, he's also pretty older himself, like older individual himself. So he's probably grew up in all of that shit since the day he was born.
Yeah,
And you think about politicians, like they do that shit like prostitutes and drugs and a whole bunch of other stuff that like we know what it is. Um, so he's probably been around all that. He probably knows a bunch of shit about his parents
yeah.
in general that just probably fucks his head up. Like this is his second time being under some sort of presidency. His dad was the vice president and under Obama, and then now he's the president.
Yeah.
So you probably seen some shit. He called his I didn't see the whole like all the stuff that came up. Somebody said that he called Joe Biden like pedo Pete or something like that, or pedo Pat. I don't know what the fuck. Like pedophile
No.
Pete or some shit. So like who knows? There's also a bunch of stuff about Joe Biden just being a creep in general, like even before his presidency, where he would like hug like little kids like mad, like weird, or touch them in weird places, like on camera and on photo.
My man's
So
Joe.
so maybe just the guilt of knowing that his pops is just a weirdo, was eating
Yeah.
at him and he's like, I need drugs. And his most likely like 99% chance that Joe does some too. They all do, I feel like.
Only way for him to stay alive through the presidency.
Even Kamala Harris was like on what's it called? The Breakfast Club or some shit. Like a
Yeah.
while, this was before like she was even running as his vice
Oh yeah,
president.
yeah.
And she was talking about how she used to be like a police chief or some shit or something like that. She used to work in the police force, and she talked about arresting people for like weed, and she said to herself, she's like, I smoke. So it's just like when you think about that, and like that's how much she admitted to. Because she
Yeah.
was trying to be cool with like the black community and be on Breakfast Club and like talk hood and shit, knowing damn well that's not her.
Come on, girl.
But yeah, that shit happened. So like there's just pictures of him and his pants off, like all and with there's a picture of like him in bed with like a prostitute and her head is like covered and she's like tied up. Just weird shit. Just a lot of weird photos. From what I saw, from the shit that I saw, it was like blurred out and they're not really talking about it. And I was like, damn, that's pretty bad. But then this morning, Joe's wife made it even worse. I don't know if you saw the Jill Biden shit trending.
No.
She like I don't know if it was today or yesterday. She gave some speech in like Texas, and then she was just like, "Oh, like, um," she was like talking to a bunch of like Hispanic people or something in Texas, and she was like, "Oh, like the beautiful bushes of Miami, the something of California." She was like the breakfast tacos of South Texas. Like she was like just trying to say all this Hispanic shit. And she named like Miami and like Texas and shit and Mexican people.
What the
And she's
hell?
like, you guys are as unique as breakfast tacos. And
Yeah.
everybody's just like, bro, like how'd somebody write that up and said that it was cool?
Facts.
And somebody was
Breakfast
just like,
tacos.
somebody on Twitter was like, oh, like she said that, now she's about to give a speech in Compton, be like, you guys are as unique as watermelon and Hennessy. Like it's like, damn, bro, like where's y'all team of people that are writing this shit up?
Bro, they don't care. They're like, look, she can't really get canceled.
And it makes me think because even before I saw this, I had a conversation or like I saw a video the day before and I sent it to Anisha where I was like, I don't know about you, but this shit makes me kind of uncomfortable. Where it was a video of like a group of people. The guy who posted it was black, and he was like in a classroom or some shit. And the caption was like, "Oh, like showing my classmates like black celebrities," and it was all like besides him, it was all white people. And he showed people like Martin Lawrence, like Queen Latifah, um, just other people like Jay-Z, just like very obvious. Like if you just pay attention even a little bit, these are people that you should know. Like
Yeah.
these aren't like niche individuals. Like
Yeah.
if you were alive or born in the past 20 to 30 years, you know who these people are.
Yeah.
and they just had no clue. Like it was just so bad.
That is kind of crazy.
And like,
I mean, in their defense, you said that like it was a class like now, like what was the age?
they had to be like late high school or like early college age.
Oh yeah, that is kind of scary then.
That like I'm not talking about like 5-year-olds. I was talking about like
okay.
they look like they were like early 20s, late
okay, because I
teens.
thought they were young. Because I was like, I can give it to them. You know, like they are getting pretty old. You know, the new generation is kind of like coming in as far as like stars and stuff like that. So I was like,
Nah.
I'll give it to them. But nah, you're saying they're like in their 20s. That's
No,
kind of scary.
it was really bad. And like the point I'm trying to make from that video is just like I don't want to be dramatic, but I feel like that's low key racist.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's an undertone of racism there. Like how the fuck do you not know who those people are?
Yeah.
Because if you do it vice versa, we know a lot of those names. So I feel like why can't you put a face to these names and shit like that? Like y'all love to consume the culture so much. How the fuck do you not respect it enough to get to at least know the people who are creating it?
Yeah, I mean they'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen the face," but they like don't even know who their name
That
is.
part,
You know?
or if they can at least be like, oh, like if you see Martin Lawrence, it's like, oh, like I've seen, like I'm blanking on his name because that happened.
True.
But it's like he's from Martin, or that still sounds bad because like it's right the fuck there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like that's horrible. Like you could be like, oh, like I've seen Martin, or I've seen all his other movies that he's done, or Queen Latifah, same thing, or
no, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just how it is. You know, some people don't even grow up around any of that stuff, and it's insane how, again, like you said, you want to absorb the culture so much, or you know, be a part of
replicate
it,
or act like you came from it.
Yeah, but yet you don't know who a lot of the people that like started from it, like who like actually came, you know, who built it up, or who they are. So.
And it's hard to like. I saw somebody say something like, "Oh, that it sounds bad," but somebody said that it's hard for them to like respect the opinion of like certain people, white people, when it comes to like hip hop and rap and shit. Because a lot of the time, surprisingly, like that video that I'm talking about, I've experienced it in real life, and I'd be like fucking shocked. Like when I was in Temple and I would do that shit, I'm like, yo, like how the fuck do you not know these people? Like you live in a completely different world. A lot of these people have like just been exposed to a lot of these art, like fucking Jay-Z, like late high school in life. When we've known of these people literally like since we came out of our like parents' womb.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to like listen to a lot of people's opinions on this shit, especially when they say some absurd ass shit. Or it's just like, nah, like Travis Scott is like the greatest thing that's ever happened. It's like, yo, you just knew about him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There's literally like fucking 70 years of history before him that led to him that are like arguably just as good, if not better than him. So it's like, yo, like you only know of Travis Scott.
Yeah, they just
you don't know about the people from before that.
It's just like where they were born and like their parents not letting them, you know, actually get any of that, you know. And again, that's their fault, you know.
Yeah. And that would be the excuse they gave, but that's where the racism part comes into
exactly.
me.
Like why? You know, like why, you know. So yeah, it makes sense, you know. I don't get it. That is crazy though, you know, to be that type of age and then not know who a lot of these people who actually are like popular, you know, who created a lot of the stuff that is in pop culture that a lot of people know of.
And people copy it or do whatever. Like at least give it the respect.
Yeah.
But that shit, I don't get it. It's like, oh, like I wasn't allowed to listen to this growing up. I was like, then what did you listen to? True. And then it'll just list off a bunch of
church music,
different artists from you know, white artists. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah, and you just like keep going down the list, and you're like, interesting how there's not a single, you know, colored person here.
But shit is changing now because we're like low key, like when you think about like we're getting old, to the point where it's like you see like how different shit is like advertised. Because I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like an Acura commercial. I don't know if you've seen it, but Vince Staples is like the person for Acura. And it's like a rapper, like, and he's not even a bigger rapper, but he like has a commercial with Acura, and it's like normally they would have like a Matthew McConaughey type of dude market it towards just older, just white dudes because they had the money to pay for it. Yeah. Now we're at the age where we can afford that shit, or at least like we're getting there. So they're switching who they have on the commercials, which will be like Vince Staples and shit, which is kind of dope.
Yeah, they got to. It's the only way. You're gonna be sitting there with like, I don't even know who could be like really old as a white person, but Matthew McConaughey is probably the closest person I can think
Yeah.
of. And you're just like, okay, yeah, I think I want to buy a Nissan because Matthew McConaughey is in there.
Yeah. Or even now you see what Kia is like fucking like NBA players or shit, or like
Mhm.
fucking Shaq, or I don't know what the fuck.
Shaq, yeah, that man's on the general.
Yeah. He's everywhere, bro. He makes no sense. Like I respect it because I've said before, if I was famous, that I would be the same way. Like I'll put
Exactly.
me anywhere.
Yeah,
But like he's legit. Like yo, like I walked into Staples the other day. He's on a printer.
yeah,
Like he's like standing next to a printer. Like oh, like Epson or whatever the fuck.
yeah. I remember I was at Best Buy and I saw that he was on that jumper.
And he's on the General. He's on Burt's Beat or what is it?
Uh,
Gold Bond.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said he's like here.
Yeah,
I got
Gold
the
Bond.
honey.
I
Here
got
come the
that.
bees. Buzz.
That
He owns
man's
like
funny, bro.
he's like on Papa John's commercials.
Facts. Yeah, he's on everything. Or was it Papa John's or was it Little Caesars? I remember there was one before where he was like disguised as somebody trying to come in, and they were just trying to say like, oh, you know, whether they would notice that he was Shaq or something like that.
Oh, that I'm
There
not
was
sure.
something. It was something. I
'Cause
feel it was Little Caesars.
I know he owns part of Papa John's. That's why.
Oh,
So I feel like that's why I said that. But
that's crazy.
maybe it may have been an older commercial.
That is interesting. Hey.
But yeah, I don't know. I saw that yesterday. I was like, that's mad weird to me. I say it sounds dramatic of me, but I feel like also like the undertones of it is just like, yeah, like there's something there, and that shit kind of bothers me. But we're gonna get out of here. Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me Instagram, ETC Marky Mark, Twitter at Marky Mark. I was about to say your name for some reason. Twitch at Marky Mark as well. Victor, where can they find you and etc. at?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, everything at ETC Victor. And etc. stuff is at real etc. Or the email is real.etc@gmail.com. We love you guys. Appreciate everything. See you next week.